objects, European furniture made by Chinese craftsmen, and things that they just bought the best of what they could buy. Next picture I'm showing is of my grandmother on the right and her elder sister. This is taken in Malacca. I think I got the caption wrong on the date, so excuse me. I think it's earlier, it's about 1905. She was born about 1890. She's about 15 to 18 years old, so 1905 to 1908. This picture is interesting, again, you look, there is almost nothing. I mean, what is Peranakan? I mean, the furniture is all colonial European. You see photographs on the wall. On the mantelpiece, you see sort of possibly a plaster or porcelain sculpture in the middle, and two glass sort of European style vases. There's a European sort of oil lamp on the table as well. There's a pet dog, and they are dressed in sort of fabric from Europe, the baju panjang, and their sarongs are from Java. And you know, I'm just saying that what can we put our finger on as a Peranakan? Is it just a combination of everything, or nothing? I start with the exhibition with one of the most fascinating objects, which is this Tan family genealogical book, which is written in the late 19th century. It's amazing source of information, and through that I've sort of reconstructed the genealogy of one of the most well-known Peranakan families in Singapore. The earliest dates, which is number 5, if you can see, is birth of Tan Huan Sing in 1436. Prior to that, the dates are unknown. There are 2 pages. From the 14th generation at the top, this is the first ancestor who left Eng Chun in Fujian province to Malacca. He was born in 1737 and he died in 1784. According to the Eng Chun Association Malacca, he was the first to leave Eng Chun village for Malacca, and he started this wave of people leaving. He married a local-born woman called Yu Sui Nyo. We don't know her ancestry, but he had 3 children by her, and then he went back to China, and he died in China. And that's how the Tan family started, and 2 generations down from him, Tan Kim Seng. So this is a really good record of a typical Baba's, successful Baba family's presence in Southeast Asia. A lot of the families arrived in the late 18th century. This is another object in the exhibition, also from, it was given to Tan Jiak Kim by the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. It's a solid, very, very heavy silver urn, given to him in the early 20th century when he received a colonial award. It was kept in the family house, Panglima Prang, which is where Yong An Park is now. It was a huge piece of land, I don't know, something like 10 acres or whatever. This picture was taken in the 1970s. That's Tan Jiak Kim with some of his children. And one of his wives, I think, I'm not sure which one, he had quite a few and they died in succession. This is, I would say, in the 1910s, is a Lambert photograph. Quite an interesting. Again, funnily enough, a lot of the wealthy Baba, the wealthy Nonyas of the period were photographed prefer to be photographed in the Chinese or to Shanghai rather than a Sao Kabaya. This is the urn in the house. Again, a photograph taken in the 1970s. It was accompanied by a silver screen with the names of all the donors or the people who donated the money to buy the urn. And this is a picture also taken by my uncle Kiblin, Lee Kiblin, in I think the 70s. And you see the urn right at the back wall beneath the portrait of Tan Jiak Kim. And flanking the portrait, you see the pair of photographs, the mosaic photographs that are now in the museum of Tan Soo Bin and his wife. Here there's another view of the main hall of Panglima Perang, and on the left you see the portrait of Tan Kim Seng, which is also here. Again, also the house was built in the 1850s or 1860s, and the bulk of furniture is basically colonial, I would say. A very staid, plain, dark brown stained colonial style furniture. I'm not sure what is Peranakan in this interior actually. I think basically the wealthy families of that time just had, I mean, this was a very modern interior, and they were just very, the Peranakans had the money to put a modern interior together. This is a very rare set of documents belonging to the Chu family. Yeah. The Surat Kahwin, or these ceremonial wedding documents that were manufactured in Amoy, Xiamen, at a time when these sort of weddings were way out of fashion. In the Republican period, the Chinese government had recommended, I think, the modern marriage and dispensing with this sort of 12-day rituals and the expense of spending so much money on a wedding. And I think possibly not only Peranakan families were keeping to the very old traditions, but definitely some Peranakan families were sticking to this. And this is the picture of the bride and the groom. Chu Tek Nyo was the daughter of Chu Bun Lay, and the husband Pang Chun Jin was the grandson of Pang Tek Jun, who was a translator of Baba plays, Cerita Dulu Kala, or Chinese novels. This was in 1930s. So the other thing that I've been realizing, a lot of the wedding photographs of the kind of garments that we define as typical Nyonya bride's outfit, most of them date from the 1920s or 30s. I've not found a photograph, a 19th century bride, I mean, in this sort of garment. So I'm not really sure what 19th century brides wore. The evidence seems to be for these is 20th century. I may be wrong. These are some of the objects from the Chu family, the Pang family. Their house is in Scotts Road. And you know, this is Johnson Brothers chamber pots. I love this because it cracked at a certain point, and Robert Chu, the owner, sort of glued it back together and lovingly sort of kept it in the house, cracks and all. So again, a different angle about why, you know, people keep them and what these objects mean to them. We also have Lee Jun Wan's family also came from the same village as in my family, where we are related. This is Yongchun or Yingchun, where Tan Jiak Kim came. The Lee ancestor, Lee Khan, left China in 1776. And in 1941, the relatives in Southeast Asia or in Singapore were still sending money for the ancestral house. So that's, you know, a long time to still remain connected to your ancestors. It's a long story, but these files were kept by my father. My grandfather and his uncle were the sort of secretaries to the family. And these are all claims for money, by the way. This is a letter written by Mrs. Lee Chun Guan during the war when they were in Bangalore. It's addressed to her cousin actually, who was the secretary of Lee Choon Guan. His name was Dick, and my brother was named after him. This was the Uncle Dick. This is a picture of Mrs. Lee Choon Guan in about 1924 when Lee Choon Guan passed away at Mandalay Villa, and seated to her left is Uncle Dick, or Lee Choon Guan, who the letter is addressed to. This is Lee Choon Guan in the 1920s, just before he died, in the grounds of Mandalay Villa, their mansion in the East Coast. This is Mrs. Lee Choon Guan outside the house in the 1970s.